to know the difference between the ego manufacturing the blank screen and the knower. There will still be a knower knowing that there is an I sense. There will be a knower knowing that there is a blank screen. Yeah? It will be a black screen or a white screen. It is still a manufactured story of the mind. Yeah? When there is no I sense, it is just like the void. There's nothing there. It is indescribable. Yeah? Then you know you are in the knower. And it's very simple actually. It's simpler than simple. Your mind does not like simple. The ego says, no, it's got to be harder than this. It's got to be like a big black screen. No, it's very simple. You're already there. Just recognize. It's the void. It's the zeroness. It is the stillness. That is why called Shunyata by Buddha. I think that is the closest description that I have seen. Yeah, because as a beginner, you don't see Purnata. What fullness? I don't see it yet. Yeah, so as a beginner, the very clear understanding comes from it is just zeroness, nothingness. There is no thing. Yes, then it's correct. I experience that nothingness. I experience that zeroness, that stillness. And you can't explain beyond it. So you understand Shunyata easily. The word Shunyata clicks very easily. Yeah? Slowly, even Purnata you can get to. It takes time. A beginner very easily becomes comfortable in the nothingness. Now this space, this knower is more like an ocean, a bottomless ocean. Otherwise you'll go to start looking for the bottom. There's no bottom also. It's infinite ocean of nothingness, and then in that nothingness, in that void, you start experiencing things. Your perspective of looking at the world changes. First you were focusing on the matter and then trying to focus on the space around it. Yeah? With practice, your focus will sink into the ocean of knowingness and you will see the matter in it, the so-called matter, yeah? The so-called objects of perception in it. And it's very easy. Some of you are already there. Yes? Just learn to differentiate when it is the mind manufacturing a black screen and when it is really the knowingness. Yeah? And that's not tough. Super clear so far? Yeah? So verse 9 also I explained it to you, but I'll read it out. Sambandhino sato nasti nivritti sahajasya tu karmakshayat prabodhacha nivartete kramatubhe. So he says, the connection between the reflected consciousness, that which is the reflection in the mirror, with the ego, it cannot be removed. Yeah, because it is natural. I already explained this to you. The connection between the ego and the body will go or end only with the end of the body at death. Yeah? Or exhaustion of karmas is equal to death. And the connection between the ego and the pure consciousness, it is Bhranti, it is a delusion, it is ignorance, it is avidya. And how will it go? Simple. With knowledge, with vidya, with jnana. Prabodh, the word used here is prabodh. Prabodh is a synonym for jnana. It is a synonym for knowledge. Yes. Now, what is knowledge? Knowledge is simply the recognition that I, the knower, not I, the ego. Huh? These are different. The knower never really says I, but for the sake of communicating something to you, I have to complete a sentence. So I'm using the metaphor I, the knower. Okay? I, the knower, realizes that I only become the ego and get lost in this world of people, situations, and things. Yes, I give power to delusion. I only give power because my nature is reflection of consciousness. My nature is reflection of power. So I also give that power to the ego, and then I give power to its wrong beliefs, wrong concepts, wrong ideas. Yes. It recognizes, oh, I am not this ego. I'm not that body on which the light is reflecting. I'm not the mind, I'm not the memory, I am not the intellect, I'm not all these perceptions, sensations, thoughts, feelings. Ah, I am the knower. So, who gets freedom? The knower. I, the knower, that was deluded in all this, get freedom from the clutches of wrong understanding, get freedom from delusion, get freedom from bhranti. That is why even after enlightenment, the body will continue. Yes, the body will continue after enlightenment. The mind will be there. The same phenomena of the pure consciousness shining on the mirror will be there. So there is going to be the reflected light. The ego is going to be there because the mind is there. Yes, it is going to be there. And it is going to reflect the same light. Yes, but that part of the knower that was giving the power to the ego through the reflected light, now no more gives it that light. That ego has become a tool of the knower. I, the knower, have started to use this ego as a tool when required. Yes, I use I for communication with others. Yes, I use I for distinguishing between body A and this body. Yeah, so it becomes a tool. When it is required, it is used. When it is not required, it is put down. The knower has become the boss. Till now, the knower had forgotten that he is the boss. He had become the slave, and the ego had become boss. Yeah? So it is not that the ego is going to go away. It is not that the mind is going to go away. Yeah? For poetic emphasis, it is said in the scriptures that the ego crumbles. Basically, the knower no more gives power to that ego for it to become the boss anymore. We are aware of the story of the 10th. What is the story? 10 people were crossing a river. This is a very famous, very popular Upanishad story, okay? 10 people, 10 men were crossing the river, and they crossed the river, they came onto the other side. It was a difficult part of their trek, so they were like tired. They came to the other side, and the main guy, he starts feeling that I think one of us is missing. So this smart person starts counting. Yeah? And he starts counting. He says, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god, the 10th is missing, the 10th is missing. We were 10 people when we started. The 10th is missing, 10th is missing. And then they're all shouting, crying. You know, when one person gets emotional, it's contagious. It spreads to all of them. Everybody's like, oh my god, the 10th is missing, 10th is missing. So a good Samaritan, he's crossing by. So he stops by and he says, whoa, what's going on? So he says, we were 10 of us on the other side of the river, and then now we crossed on this side, and now the 10th person went missing. I think he's drowned. Oh, it was all my idea to come on this trek. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I shouldn't have done this. Oh. So he was like, okay, 1 minute. Let me help you. So he says, he looks around and he's smart. He, even without counting, he gets it there 10 people. So he says, okay, I'll help you. Why don't you start counting? So he says, okay, I'll start. He starts 1. And he says, see, I'm counting loudly, okay? Pay attention. He's like, yeah, I'm paying attention. Go ahead. He starts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, there is no 10th. So the Samaritan takes his hand and he says, see, this is the 10th. You are the 10th. Yeah. What is the meaning of this story? You are the 10th. The ignorance, which is the seed of ignorance, the belief in this person's mind in the beginning, right in the beginning, he had a belief that one person has drowned. That is number 1. Yeah? That is ignorance, a belief. And you have given space for that belief in your mind, and that has made home over there. That is stage 1. You're in bondage. This belief creates a veil over your eyes, over your mind, and even things that are supposed to be apparent to you are just not apparent to you because you're clouded by your belief. Right? Yes, sometimes somebody is explaining something to you. This is so wrong what is happening, but no, I don't want to see it. Yes, I have closed my eyes. Yes, this is stage 2, avarana. Avarana literally is like a curtain, or a veil that I only put on my eyes. It's got nothing to do with other people. Okay? Here, who's responsible in all these stages? I am responsible. I have put an avarana myself because of my ignorance. My ignorance could be because of my past conditioning. My ignorance could be because of my past habit patterns. My ignorance could be because I like something and I just want to hold on to that and I don't want to change it. Yeah? So I'm holding on to something even though something inside me knows it's not right. Yes, that is ignorance, and that ignorance of mine creates a veil that prevents me from seeing the truth. This is second stage. Third is Vikshepa. Now I start projecting, where he started crying, oh my God, the 10th man is lost, the 10th man is lost, he's drowned, we've lost him. This is projection. Yeah? We are projecting, or Vikshepa is throwing out your own ragas and dveshas. You might not project through your lips and affect the people in your surrounding, but you might project it in your own mind and make your own mind dirty. You understand what I'm saying? With your own ragas and dveshas, and that is internal suffering. What is internal suffering? Lots of thoughts, too many feelings. I just don't know how to manage it. I cannot handle it. Yes, that is projection of the same wrong understanding, and I multiply it with my raga or dvesha. These are the stages of bondage. Till here, these 10 people were in bondage, or I should say, this 10th guy who was counting, he is in bondage. This is your story, okay? Yeah, I hope you can relate to it. Along comes the Good Samaritan, And what does he say? You are the 10th. He helps him look inward. Yes. But this is his knowledge, no? To begin with, this is his knowledge that I am the 10th. I have still not seen it. Yes. Some of us on this spiritual path are stuck here. Yeah. Par means the other. Paroksha Gyan. Yeah. The knowledge of the other. It is always borrowed in the beginning. I listen to a teacher, I listen to a saint, I listen to the scriptures. It is borrowed knowledge, it is not mine. At this stage, I can make a very big mistake and stop progressing on the path. Because you say so, I believe it so. Good. Is there any chance for me to progress after that? No. Because with belief, it does not become my knowledge. Does it become my knowledge? No. Yeah. Your friend has come to visit you and you sit and have tea. You tell me on the phone. Okay. Your friend has come to visit you. You have sat down and had tea. Yeah. You've just told me that. Okay. That is a belief. It is not knowing. I do not really know whether there is truth in that story. It is not my experience of that situation. You are in your house with your friend. Do you understand what I am saying? I will have to experience something to move ahead on the path. Belief is a very big obstacle. Fake belief. Just because you say so, you are in a position of authority, so I believe it. Finished. You've ended your spiritual journey. Some people are stuck here 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. People kick the bucket at this point. Yeah? Because they do not move from indirect knowledge to direct knowledge, from paroksha jnana to aparoksha jnana. Yes, what happens on the path of Advaita? They directly start you with direct knowledge. You first recognize the knower. We'll talk ahead. What happens, why it happens. You first start with recognizing the knower. You recognize the knower. Now we can sit at the table and talk. Advaita directly brings you here. Direct knowledge. Even if you just get a glimpse, it is still whose glimpse? My glimpse. I saw it. Before I see the full movie, I always get to see the preview. This was the preview of the full movie. Super clear? Yeah? When I get the direct knowledge, I establish a destination, a goal post, an end destination, a to address. I always had the from address, but I did not have a to address. Yes? So whenever I put in my GPS, I knew where I'm beginning from, but I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know where I was going. I did right, left, but still it is a blind path. I do not know a taste of the destination. On the path of Advaita, first you recognize the knower, so you get a glimpse of the destination. It's like before going for your vacation to the Himalayas, you saw the beautiful picture and you know the name of the destination. Yes? So you put Dauladhar ranges, Himalayas. Yes? Wherever you begin from, whether you're in Dehradun or you're somewhere in a village in Karnataka or in Mumbai, it doesn't matter. You know where to go, you will get there. But if you don't know your to address, you are just all over the place, and then while being all over the place, you get off track, you don't have interest, you get bored, you give into the ego, you're lost in the world, you go back to ignorance. Yes, all these things were seen actually by Adi Shankara, and he put it down that these are the flaws that I notice amongst the ascetics and amongst the people who are walking the spiritual path. So we need to first bring direct knowledge. We need to give a to address, even if it is just the picture of the destination for the person. And then you start walking. Yes, while walking, things get clearer and they open up. Yes, how will they open up? I know from, I know to. I know the taste. Yes, so it gives me a confidence that it is the truth and I can get there, because if I got a glimpse, I can get the full movie. The confidence becomes a self-propellant. It keeps propelling you in that direction. I will not call it faith. I'm not translating Shraddha to faith. I'm translating Shraddha to confidence. Are you getting this? And I got this confidence because I got a glimpse of the Noor. Yes? Now I start walking. And while walking, very clearly I understand the scripture because it tells you that the ego has identified with the reflected consciousness. And you will start experiencing these words when you start working on yourself. And ego is nothing but this I thought. It comes up, it plays, it does its dance, again it goes, again it comes up. It is not a continuity. Oh, that which is not continuous is not really I, is not really I the knower. It's not the self. Yeah, it's not the consciousness. So this will start opening up. The more you practice, it opens up more and more and more. And finally, you stop giving so much power to the ego. That ends suffering. And you come to the next stage of the end of suffering. Yeah. After that, there is just contentment. You will still live in this body. You will still have the same mind. You will still have the same ego reflecting the same consciousness. But your knower will be very strong. Always there, in its position. Yeah? The knower will not lose itself in the ego anymore. It will be in attention. Yeah?
Direct knowledge is like the rope if you're climbing a mountain. That rope, if it's already there, that's the support that you get to go to the destination. That also gives you the direction, but that also gives you the support and the strength. Without that, you can
All over, yeah. Very nice. You understood what he's saying, no? Mountain climbers would understand. We throw this harness up, yeah? Like it's like a rope, and then you pull that rope up and you climb up the mountain. So he's saying direct knowledge, like Advaita, gives you that harness, gives you that rope. Now you know which direction to go. It becomes very easy. It's like the shortest path then. Yeah, I'm not looking here, I'm not getting distracted by there. I'm not getting lost on different paths on the mountain. Yeah, I'm not going all over the place. Something was very pleasant, very beautiful, I sit down there. No, my goal is very clear now and I know which direction to keep moving. I keep moving, keep moving. Nice example.